Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. We have discussed male reproductive organ, structure and development of anther, sporogenous tissue, microsporogenesis, and lastly structure and development of male gametophyte. Today we will take up the female reproductive organ of a flower, that is the carpel. The female reproductive organ of a flower is known as carpel or pistil. The female reproductive organs of the flower are the carpels or pistils, collectively known as gynoecium. An individual unit of the female reproductive whorl, that is gynoecium, individual unit of this gynoecium is called carpel or pistil, and collectively these carpels or pistils of a flower, they are known as gynoecium. And free unit of a gynoecium, as I have already told you, is known as pistil or carpel. Each pistil or carpel has three parts. Each pistil or carpel has three parts: a lower fertile, a lower or basal swollen and fertile part called ovary, which contains one or many ovules, a large stalk-like structure called style, or a middle stalk-like structure, large stalk-like structure called style, and an upper, broader, pollen receptive part or portion called stigma. And if we can say a typical carpel or pistil, it has three parts: a basal swollen and fertile part called ovary, which contains one or many ovules, a middle large stalk-like structure called style, and an upper broader pollen receptive portion called the stigma. The fertile part or the most important part which directly take part in sexual reproduction, that is ovary. But in this ovary, the typical unit, functional unit, that is ovule. So we will take up the structure of ovule. This ovule, it is an integumentary megasporangium. This ovule is also known as megasporangium. As the anther was known as microsporangium, anther is the part of the flower which produces microspores, male gametes, and ovule is the part of the flower which produces megaspores or female gametes. That is why we call it as integumentary megasporangium. And in a megasporangium surrounded by integuments, Now we can call ovule as an integumentary megasporangium surrounded by this integument, and it is found in spermatophytes. Spermatophytes, any seed plants. Seed plants means gymnosperms and angiosperms. And this ovule, it ultimately develops into seeds after fertilization. After fertilization, this ovule, it develops into the seed. And a typical angiospermic ovule is an ovoid and white structure. A typical angiospermic ovule, it is an ovoid white structure ovoid, and it is oval in shape and white in color. Ovoid white structure which occurs inside the ovary, which occurs inside the ovary, where it is attached to a parenchymatous cushion. This is parenchymatous cushion called placenta, either singly or in clusters. And this ovule may arise from a parenchymatous cushion on the inside of the ovary, that is called placenta, either singly or in clusters. And generally the ovule is stalked. And the stalk of the ovule is called funicle or funiculus. And on one side it is attached with the placenta, and on the other side, this placenta, the stalk of the ovule, on one side it is attached with the placenta, and on the other side it is attached with the body of a ovule through a hilum, through a small depression called hilum, In anatropous ovules, that is inverted ovule, which is typical of angiosperms, this funiculus, it is fused with the body of the ovule lengthwise beyond the hilum, forming a sort of ridge. And you see funicle in basal portion allow hilum allow gatha yat body of the ovule impit ये additional covering a ridge हु बनावा, forming a sort of ridge. That ridge is called a wrap. Now the body of the ovule, it consists of a mass of parenchymatous cells called nucellus. And its body of the ovule, it consists of a mass of parenchymatous cells called nucellus. This nucellus generally encloses a single embryo sac or female gametophyte. In its center. It is rich in reserve food. Then this nucellus, it is rich in reserve food. And this nucellus may be quite massive or thin. And this nucellus may be quite massive or thin. If it is quite massive, that is thick, we call it as crassinucleate ovule. And if it is thin, it is called tenucleate ovule. And we can say ovules are of two types. If the nucellus is massive, it is thick, it is called crassinucleate ovule, and if it is thin, it is called tenucleate ovule. Now this nucellus, it is surrounded by one that is called unitegmic, 2 bitegmic, multicellular integuments. It is surrounded by 1 or 2 multicellular integuments. If we have only one integument, it is called unitegmic, and if we have 2 integuments, they are called bitegmic ovules. And on the basis of the number of integumentals ovules may be unitegmic or bitegmic, and rarely, and sometimes a third integument. An ovule may contain a third integument. Keinsan ovule ch asa treyim integument called aerial. Ath integument chhe wana aerial. Or an integument may be absent. Such ovules are called atagmic. Yani generally we have either one integument, such ovules are called unitagmic, or we have two, those ovules are called bitegmic, and sometimes we have a third integument, this is tritagmic ovules. That third integument is called aerial, or sometimes even the integuments may be absent. Such ovules are called atagmic. These integuments, they completely surround the ovules on all the sides except for a small opening, narrow opening called micropyle. And these integuments, they surround the body of the ovule, nucellus on all the sides except for a narrow opening called micropyle, which serves as a passage for the entry of pollen tube. And this micropyle, it is an opening on the upper side, on the top of the ovule, which serves as passage for the entry of pollen tube into the ovule. And you say pollen tube azachipat ovulus means it ultimately enters through this micropyle, through this opening which is found on the micropylar end of the ovule. And the opposite side of this micropylar end, any use side opposite as of micropylar end, that is called as the basal or callosal end. That end we call as basal end or the callosal end. Yus hasa what opposite side chhe tath chhe wana callosal end, nat chhe wana basal end. And this is all about the structure of the ovule. Thank you.